Have you ever heard a story so incredible you wished it were true? Imagine a magnificent island city, a place of wonders and riches beyond your wildest dreams. This city was home to a powerful and noble people living in perfect harmony. They built incredible structures, shimmering canals, and grand temples. This legendary place is called Atlantis. It is perhaps the most famous lost city in the world. For thousands of years, its story has captured the imagination of adventurers, historians, and dreamers just like us. The tale speaks of a utopian paradise that vanished in a single terrible day. The legend describes Atlantis as an island larger than Libya and Asia combined, situated beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we now know as the Strait of Gibraltar. The city itself was a marvel of engineering. It was built in a series of concentric rings of land and water. A huge canal connected the city to the sea, allowing ships to sail right into its heart. The people of Atlantis were said to be descended from Poseidon, the Greek god of the sea. They were wise, artistic, and technologically advanced. Their story is one of ultimate power and tragic loss, a reminder that even the greatest civilizations can disappear. But where did this incredible story come from? It wasn't discovered on an ancient stone tablet or found in a dusty scroll in a forgotten tomb. The tale of Atlantis was first told by one person. This story has been passed down through generations, each one adding a little more mystery and wonder. It's a puzzle that has puzzled people for over 2,000 years. Was it a real historical account, a cautionary tale, or simply a brilliant piece of fiction? The mystery begins not in the depths of the ocean, but in the mind of a great philosopher in ancient Greece. The idea of a lost world is incredibly powerful. It taps into our deep-seated curiosity about the unknown. We look at our own world and wonder what secrets it still holds. The story of Atlantis makes us ask big questions. Could a highly advanced society have existed so long ago? Could they have been wiped out by a cataclysmic natural disaster, leaving no trace behind? The allure of Atlantis is not just about finding gold or ancient artifacts. It's about finding a missing chapter of human history, a chapter that could rewrite everything we think we know about our past. The entire legend of Atlantis comes to us from the writings of an ancient Greek philosopher named Plato. He lived over 2,300 years ago, around 400 BC. Plato was one of the most important thinkers in history, and he wrote many famous works called dialogues. In two of these dialogues, the Timaeus and the Critias, he introduces the world to the story of Atlantis. He presents the tale as a true story, passed down through his family from the great Athenian statesman Solon. Solon, in turn, was said to have heard it from Egyptian priests, who kept records stretching back thousands of years. According to Plato, the story was about a great war that took place 9,000 years before his own time. It was a battle between the heroic people of ancient Athens and the mighty empire of Atlantis. The Atlanteans were a formidable naval power. They had conquered many parts of Europe and Africa. Their ambition was to rule the entire known world. Plato describes them as originally being virtuous and noble. But as their power and wealth grew, they became corrupted by greed and arrogance. This hubris, or excessive pride, would ultimately lead to their downfall in a rather dramatic fashion. Plato's account is incredibly detailed. He describes the geography of the island, the layout of its capital city, and the customs of its people. The central plain was fertile and irrigated by a sophisticated network of canals. The city's temples were decorated with gold, silver, and a mysterious metal called orichalcum, which was said to glow with a red light. The citizens had laws, a government, and a powerful military. This level of detail has made many people believe that Plato must have been describing a real place. Why would he invent such a specific and elaborate story if it wasn't true? However, Plato never finished the story. His dialogue, Critias, cuts off just as he is about to describe the war between Athens and Atlantis. But in the Timaeus, he gives us the dramatic ending. After the Atlanteans failed in their attack on Athens, their island was struck by a terrible catastrophe. Plato wrote, "There occurred violent earthquakes and floods, and in a single day and night of misfortune, the island of Atlantis in like manner was swallowed up by the sea and disappeared." This sudden and complete destruction is a key part of the legend and a source of endless speculation. For centuries after Plato wrote his dialogues, most scholars considered the story of Atlantis to be just that, a story. They believed Plato had invented it as a fable, a way to explore his ideas about politics, power, and the ideal state. He might have been using Atlantis as an example of a powerful but corrupt society, contrasting it with his vision of a perfect Athens. In this view, Atlantis was never meant to be a destination on a map. It was a thought experiment, a philosophical tool to teach a lesson about the dangers of pride and imperial ambition. It was a powerful tale, but not a historical record. The search for Atlantis in a real physical sense didn't truly begin until much later. In the 19th century, an American writer and congressman named Ignatius Donnelly published a book called Atlantis, the Antediluvian World. Donnelly argued passionately that Atlantis was a real place and that it was the source of all ancient civilizations. He claimed that survivors from the sinking island had spread across the world, teaching other cultures about agriculture, metallurgy, and language. His book was a massive bestseller and ignited a worldwide fascination with finding the lost city. Suddenly, people started looking for it everywhere. This new wave of interest led to countless theories about where Atlantis might be located. Some took Plato's words literally and searched in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Others suggested places all over the globe, from the Americas to the North Sea. Each theory tried to match a real location with the clues given in Plato's story. Was there a volcanic island that sank beneath the waves? Was there a coastal city destroyed by a tsunami? The hunt for Atlantis became a global expedition, fueled by hope and Donnelly's popular ideas. It was no longer just a philosopher's tale. It was a treasure map. However, modern archaeologists and historians are mostly skeptical. The main problem is the complete lack of physical evidence. Despite centuries of searching, no one has ever found a single undisputed Atlantean artifact, ruin, or inscription. Mainstream science points out that the geology of the Atlantic Ocean floor shows no signs of a sunken continent. The consensus among most experts today is that Plato's story was a work of fiction, a brilliant and influential one certainly, but a myth nonetheless. They argue that the search for Atlantis is a search for a place that only ever existed in a book. So, if most experts think it's a myth, why are we still so obsessed with it? One of the most compelling theories connects the Atlantis story to a real historical event, the volcanic eruption of Thera. Thera, now the Greek island of Santorini, was home to the advanced Minoan civilization. Around 1600 BC, a colossal volcanic eruption blew the island apart. It triggered massive tsunamis that devastated coastal communities across the Mediterranean, including the main Minoan center on the island of Crete. The timeline is different from Plato's, but the parallels are striking. A powerful island civilization destroyed by a natural catastrophe. Some researchers believe that the memory of the Minoan collapse was passed down for over 1,000 years, becoming more and more exaggerated until it reached Plato, who adapted it for his own story. This theory offers a tantalizing bridge between myth and reality. Other possible locations have also been proposed. Some look towards the coast of Spain, near the Pillars of Hercules. Others have suggested sites in the Caribbean, like the Bimini Road, an underwater rock formation some believe is man-made. Each new theory, each potential clue, keeps the fire of the search burning bright for a new generation. The enduring appeal of Atlantis lies in the mystery itself. It is a story that has everything: a lost paradise, advanced technology, a cautionary tale of pride, and a cataclysmic ending. It's the ultimate cold case. The lack of concrete evidence doesn't discourage believers. It fuels their passion. It leaves room for imagination and adventure. The search for Atlantis is more than just a historical quest, it's a quest for wonder. It represents the hope that our world still holds incredible secrets, ancient marvels just waiting to be rediscovered beneath the waves. Ultimately, whether Atlantis was a real place or a brilliant invention, its power is undeniable. The legend encourages us to explore our oceans, to study our past, and to ask big questions about who we are and where we came from. It reminds us that even the mightiest powers can fall and that nature is a force to be respected. The search for Atlantis is a journey into the depths of both the ocean and our own imagination. And that is a journey that will likely never end, as long as there are still mysteries left to solve in our amazing world.